Hello everyone. Welcome back, I'm so glad you're here. The lights inside the massive stadium slowly faded into darkness, but the noise only grew louder. Tens of thousands of voices echoed through the night air of Las Vegas like a living heartbeat, shaking every seat, every railing, every inch of the arena as glowing purple lights moved together like waves across an endless ocean. The desert heat still lingered outside the walls of Allegiant Stadium, but inside, something completely different was happening. It felt electric. It felt emotional. It felt like the entire world had gathered together for one unforgettable night beneath the same sky. Nobody wanted to blink. Nobody wanted to miss a single second. The anticipation alone felt powerful enough to stop time. The giant screens suddenly flickered to life, casting bright flashes across the crowd as a cinematic opening filled the stadium with thunderous sound. A deep pulse rolled through the speakers, and instantly the screams became deafening. Fans clutched their light sticks tightly against their chests, tears already forming before a single member had even stepped on stage. That was the kind of atmosphere BTS created without saying one word. Their presence alone carried emotion. Their silence alone carried power. Everyone knew this concert was not just another stop on a world tour. It felt like history unfolding in real time. It felt personal. Then the stage exploded into light. The sound of roaring fire effects burst across the arena as the members emerged one by one through smoke and golden sparks, dressed in dark shimmering outfits that reflected the blazing stage lights like stars against the desert night. The crowd erupted so loudly it almost drowned out the music itself. Jungkook stood at the center with an intense expression that instantly sent chills through the stadium, while walked forward with the calm confidence of someone carrying years of dreams on his shoulders. Jimin's gaze alone seemed enough to make thousands of fans lose their breath. V moved slowly through the smoke like a scene from a movie, mysterious and untouchable, while SUGA's cold charisma instantly electrified the audience. J-Hope's energy exploded through every corner of the stage. Jin smiled with warmth that melted the tension in the air, and the moment all seven stood together beneath the flames and lights, the entire stadium felt complete. The opening performance hit like a storm. Every beat pounded through the crowd with unbelievable force as synchronized choreography shook the stage beneath them. Fans screamed every lyric back with trembling voices, creating a sound so massive it felt impossible for one building to contain it. Cameras flashed endlessly across the arena while giant screens captured every expression, every movement, every glance between the members. Even from the highest seats, people cried uncontrollably because somehow BTS always made every person feel seen. It never mattered how far away someone sat. The connection always felt close enough to touch. As the performances continued, the emotional atmosphere only deepened. Between explosive songs filled with fire and power came moments of quiet vulnerability that changed the entire energy of the night. Stepped toward the front of the stage during a moment, breathing heavily as sweat reflected beneath the spotlight. He looked out across the sea of purple lights for several seconds without speaking, almost like he was trying to absorb the reality in front of him. Then he smiled softly, and the stadium instantly became silent. He spoke about time, about how quickly life changes, about how there were moments during the past few years when everything felt uncertain, when even standing together again on stage seemed impossible to imagine. His voice remained calm, but there was emotion hidden beneath every word. Fans listened carefully, many already crying before he even finished speaking. There was something painfully honest about the way he looked at the audience that night, as if he truly understood how much these moments meant to people who had waited so long to see BTS together again beneath the same lights. Jin stood beside him quietly, smiling in that familiar comforting way that always made fans emotional. When he finally spoke, the entire stadium exploded into laughter after one of his playful jokes, but the emotion underneath never disappeared. That was the strange magic of BTS concerts. One moment people were laughing uncontrollably, and the next moment tears were running down their faces before they even realized it. Jin thanked the fans for protecting their memories through every difficult chapter. His voice sounded softer than usual, almost emotional, and fans instantly noticed. The cameras zoomed closer as he looked around the stadium slowly, taking in the sight of thousands of people waving their light sticks for him. Then came one of the most unforgettable moments of the entire night. The stage darkened again until only one narrow spotlight remained. A piano melody echoed quietly through the stadium, delicate and haunting against the silence. Fans immediately recognized the song, and a wave of emotional screams rolled across the crowd. Jimin appeared alone beneath the light, dressed in white while the giant screens captured every detail of his expression. His voice entered softly, almost fragile, yet powerful enough to silence an entire stadium within seconds. The atmosphere transformed completely. People stopped recording. They stopped screaming. They simply listened. Every note carried raw emotion through the air as Jimin moved slowly across the stage, his voice trembling with heartbreaking beauty. The camera occasionally showed fans in the crowd openly sobbing while holding each other tightly. Some covered their mouths in disbelief. Others stared silently at the stage with tears streaming down their faces. There was something deeply human about the performance. It no longer felt like a concert. It felt like millions of emotions being shared at once without needing explanation. As the song reached its final chorus, the remaining members slowly appeared behind him beneath dim golden lights, standing silently together while harmonies filled the stadium like a dream. The image alone became unforgettable. 7 silhouettes standing together beneath a dark Las Vegas sky, surrounded by endless purple lights and thousands of crying fans who understood exactly what that moment meant. The energy shifted again when J-Hope suddenly burst onto the stage with unstoppable intensity during the next performance. The crowd instantly exploded back into screaming chaos as flames erupted across the massive platforms around him. His charisma felt unreal live. Every movement looked sharp, every smile looked dangerous, every second of his performance radiated confidence and energy powerful enough to ignite the entire stadium. Fans jumped, screamed, danced, and sang every lyric back so loudly that even the members looked shocked by the noise. Jungkook ran across the extended stage during the performance, pointing toward different sections of the audience while grinning breathlessly. He looked genuinely happy, almost overwhelmed by the love pouring toward them from every direction. At one point he stopped suddenly near the edge of the stage, staring out at the crowd with wide eyes as fans screamed his name endlessly beneath the lights. He laughed softly, shaking his head in disbelief before lowering his microphone for the audience to sing alone. The sound that followed felt enormous. Tens of thousands of voices united together beneath the desert sky while Jungkook simply stood there listening with an emotional smile he could not hide. V spent much of the night moving through the stage with quiet elegance that captivated every camera in the stadium. There was something cinematic about the way he carried himself during the concert. Every glance toward the audience created another wave of screams. Every subtle smile instantly became a viral moment in real time. Yet behind the charisma, there were moments where his expression softened into something more emotional, more reflective. During one quieter section of the concert, he sat alone on the edge of the stage while fans sang softly back to him. The camera zoomed in as he looked upward toward the lights above the stadium, almost lost in thought for a brief moment before smiling gently again. SUGA's solo stage changed the atmosphere entirely. The intensity in his performance felt raw and fierce, shaking the arena with heavy beats and sharp rap verses delivered with incredible precision. His presence commanded attention in a completely different way from the others. There was darkness, emotion, and strength woven into every second of his performance. Fans screamed every line back at him while fire effects exploded behind the stage like thunder. Yet even during the most aggressive moments, there was emotion hidden beneath the surface. You could feel years of struggle, sacrifice, pressure, and survival within the energy he brought to the stage. Then came a moment nobody expected. During one of the moments near the middle of the show, the members suddenly grew unusually quiet. The laughter faded slightly as looked toward the others with an expression that immediately made fans nervous. The stadium slowly became silent again. He spoke carefully, almost hesitating at first, before thanking ARMY for staying beside them through every uncertain moment over the years. His words sounded heavier this time, more personal. He admitted there were periods where the future felt blurry, where exhaustion and pressure became difficult to carry. As he spoke, the cameras showed the members listening silently beside him. Jungkook lowered his head quietly. Jimin wiped near his eyes. Even J-Hope, normally overflowing with energy, looked emotional. The crowd responded with endless cheers of support that echoed throughout the stadium. Some fans shouted messages of love while others simply cried openly into the shoulders of the people beside them. It felt like the entire concert paused emotionally for a moment. Not because the energy disappeared, but because everyone inside that stadium suddenly remembered how much BTS and ARMY had endured together through the years. Then Jin broke the tension with a small joke that instantly made everyone laugh through their tears again. That balance between pain and comfort had always been part of BTS. As the concert moved toward its final stretch, the performances somehow became even more emotional and explosive at the same time. Massive fireworks erupted above the stadium while giant screens displayed cinematic visuals stretching across the entire arena. The members ran freely around the extended stage, soaking in every final moment of the night while fans screamed louder than ever before. Sweat soaked their outfits. Their breathing became heavier. Their voices grew raw with emotion and exhaustion. Yet nobody wanted the night to end. One of the most unforgettable scenes came during the final songs when the entire stadium transformed into a galaxy of purple lights. The members stood together at the center of the stage while confetti slowly rained from above like silver snow beneath the spotlights. Fans sang every lyric together so loudly that the music itself nearly disappeared beneath the sound of thousands of emotional voices. Some fans held signs high above their heads with messages thanking BTS for saving them during difficult times. Others simply cried while staring at the stage, trying desperately to memorize every second before it disappeared forever into memory. Looked visibly emotional as he stared across the crowd one last time. Jin kept smiling, though his eyes looked glassy beneath the lights. SUGA nodded quietly while listening to the fans sing. J-Hope waved endlessly toward every corner of the stadium like he never wanted to stop. Jimin pressed his hand against his chest while tears gathered in his eyes. V stood silently for a moment, taking in the overwhelming atmosphere around him. Jungkook looked out at the audience with an expression that carried gratitude, disbelief, and sadness all at once. Then they stood together side by side beneath the falling confetti, holding hands as the final fireworks exploded across the Las Vegas sky beyond the open stadium roof. The sound shook the night while thousands of fans screamed through tears, trying desperately to hold on to the moment for just a little longer. Because everyone inside Allegiant Stadium understood something painful in that moment. Concerts end. Lights fade. Songs finish. But nights like this stay alive forever inside the hearts of the people who were there. Long after the stadium emptied and the lights disappeared into darkness, the emotion remained. Fans walked slowly through the Las Vegas night still crying, still replaying moments in their minds, still unable to process what they had just experienced together. Some hugged strangers tightly before leaving. Others sat silently outside the stadium staring at their phones, already watching clips from the concert again while tears returned to their eyes. The city around them continued glowing with noise and life, but for those fans, the world still felt frozen inside that stadium beneath the purple lights. And somewhere inside the quiet after the chaos, after the fireworks and screaming and music faded away, one feeling remained stronger than anything else. They had witnessed something unforgettable together beneath the desert sky. Not just a concert. A memory powerful enough to last forever.